What's going on, fantasy football fans? I'm your host, Hussein the Brain, and you're watching The Couch. It's week 2 of fantasy football, and we have a lot to talk about this show. Let's jump right into it. I'm going to talk about players to add, of course. I'm going to talk about players to drop, a little bit about RG3, and some injuries. For a limited time, you can go to the website, fantasycouch.com, and I will be releasing my waiver wire list to 100 people. The first 100 people to sign up for the list will get my waiver wire list before anybody else. So make sure to go there, click on that top banner and sign up. Let's jump right into the players to add. The first player to highlight is Justin Forsett. I love this guy because he could be the #1 running back. If Pierce fumbles one more time, Forsett's going to be the guy over there on Baltimore. And the next few guys weed in: Malcolm Floyd, Bradshaw, Cunningham, Jordan Matthews, Marquise Lee, Donnie Avery. All those guys should be picked up in just about every league. They can be very productive, especially if you need a wide receiver or running back. And Bradshaw is a really good #4 running back, even a #3 in PPR leagues. I left Terrence West and Kelvin Benjamin out because they should be picked up in just about every league unless you're in a really shallow league or you're not in a competitive league. And most of the people that watch this show are in a competitive league. So I left those guys out of the list. And if you plan on hitting the waivers hard this week, make sure you keep close tabs on the injury reports for Arizona, Cleveland, and Tampa Bay, because that's going to decide whether or not you're going to pick up the backup running backs on those teams. And for my deep league ads, I put Allen Hurns here. Now this guy he's a decent waiver wire pickup, but I'm not going crazy for him. Everyone's picking him up left and right. Now you got Cecil Shorts coming back. You have Ace Sanders coming back from a suspension. Justin Blackmon might possibly come back in a few games. You know, defenses are going to zero in on Allen Hurns. You don't want to just pick him up, and you're not going to start him anyways this coming week. So you're going to pick him up, stash him. By the time all those other receivers are going to come back on the Jaguars, and he's not going to be a must start. So he's not really worth the pickup unless you're in a deep league. If you're in a 16-man league, pick this guy up. And you can make a case for just about any quarterback in the league right now, except, which brings me to my drop list, except for Eli Manning. I mean, that guy really sucks. You want to drop Eli Manning if you can, unless you're in a deep league, dual quarterback league. You can't really do that. I understand if you drafted him, unfortunately. I would drop Ray Rice, Kobe Fleener, and like I said, Eli Manning just about every case. And if you're in a 10-man league or more shallow than that, I would also drop Kyrie Robinson. This guy's pretty good, but there's a lot of running backs over there. You got Cadet, Ingram, and of course Pierre Thomas. It is far from an ideal situation over there in New Orleans for the running backs. I have a funny stat here. I estimate that well over 10,000 people picked up Tom Crabtree. That's a backup tight end. They thought that was Michael Crabtree. They're idiots. Don't be one of those idiots and don't pick up Tom Crabtree thinking that's Michael Crabtree. So don't do that. Next guy I want to talk about is RG3. If you have RG3, that's not good. But there's a little bit of hope for you. So 99% of people who drafted RG3 got a pretty good backup. They got Tom Brady or Jay Cutler, you know, somebody like that. So that's going to be pretty good. And sometimes even Andrew Luck. But if you don't, man, it's not looking good for you right now. But there is a little bit of hope. He has some really good matchups coming up, and you want to hope that he strings together 2 games, maybe even 3 games, and you want to trade him. So week 5 he faces Seattle. He's not going to have a good game against Seattle defense. So, you know, hopefully you trade him before then. There's also a further stretch down the road where he has a few good games. So hopefully you're able to trade this guy. I have a lot of doubts about RG3 this year. And that's all the time we have this week. Make sure you guys subscribe to our video. Visit the website, fantasycouch.com. We have great articles on there. Fantasy woes every week. And also start 'em, sit 'em. A bunch of other great stuff. Check that out. I'll see you guys on the next video.